Yes, we are live. We are back. It's been a long break. Daniel-san, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Andy?
I'm great. I am so pleased to see you in this format because we speak all the time, of course, but we've been trying to get back on the podcast, and now we're doing it live and we're doing it on YouTube, and they can see us, hear us, feel us, and smell us. It's so good.
Wait a second. They can smell us? They can smell us?
Yes. Well, I can smell you. I've just put the plug in on StreamYard.
Right.
So, hello everybody. Welcome to the live streamed video version of the Guitar Stories podcast. We can see the chat. We can see you very patiently waiting. And Dan, we've earned $2 already from Shaquille.
It's too easy, man. It's too easy.
It's too easy. If we stop streaming and start again, is he going to send us another couple of bucks? Who knows? Quick caveat, if you're listening to the audio version of this on the audio services that we provide you with, then we're now live on the GuitarGeek YouTube channel, my channel, because we thought it'd be more fun. And it certainly is.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of things coming up for you tonight. We've got chat, we've got more chat, and then a little bit more chat. We've got we had video stuff, we had all these things, and of course the technical gremlins played with us, and some of the stuff's not working, but I'm going to try and get that fixed whilst we are streaming. Poo Ninja's in the chat, of course, so a great shout out to the people in the chat so far. Poo Ninja, Studio Jimil, Oiled, which I always mispronounce the name, Geronimo Martinez Fabregas, which is an amazing name, and Bogeyman, who I've only recognized recently, actually. So welcome to the channel, and indeed welcome to Guitar Stories podcast. Dan, do you want to run down what we're doing today, give the people a quick sort of overview, and maybe we can kick off then with some news?
Yeah, well, we decided to structure a little bit better and start by sweeping up the gear news of the week, and there was plenty to discuss and plenty to tackle. Then, of course, we'll talk about new gear that we purchased, which is always the Don't Tell My Wife section. And then we talk about like the gear of the week, the piece of gear that made us shiver and made us get some gas and get some cravings. Yeah, and then we talk about the general topic of the week. Did we decide which topic we're going to tackle? Because there were so many.
So many. I mean, so much has happened since we last streamed and last joined. We can kind of go easy on the main topic tonight because there's so much to talk about. Jason's here as well. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Let's go straight into the news. Imagine right now, people, that there was an amazing graphic that said news, because I made it, but I can't show you because it won't work. So, news. Dan, lead us in with some news, my friend. I'm going to slowly unbutton my hoodie.
Ooh. Shall I make some music to that?
Yeah, can I have it in C minor, please?
No, well, one big topic this week was the potential bankruptcy of Guitar Center.
Yes.
Not the first time that we hear about that. Is that like, what are your thoughts about that?
My initial thought is how awful it is that we can just say, okay, that's fine. You know, like personally, all I've seen across the internet is people just sort of expecting that and saying that's fine. Whereas if an individual were to have financial issues, then they would get judged slightly differently. And to go personal for a moment, I've been in debt. I've been in credit card debt. I've run up stuff that got me in trouble. And I had people chasing me all the time, and it wasn't very nice. And now to see a business, regardless of what the sort of business it is, to see a business sort of say, "Oh, naughty us, we're in trouble financially." Everyone's just kind of accepting it, you know, and that annoys me.
Yeah, I hear.
So that's my initial reaction.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing with Guitar Center. You know, since I'm working in the MI industry, I was like always confronted with that potential bankruptcy. I mean, it's not the first time I hear it. It probably ain't going to be the last time that this is like in the room, and it's like the elephant in the room of the whole American MI business. So sure. Probably, I mean, there a lot of businesses have gone, or a lot of companies have gone out of business due to COVID. So this might have been like, you know, COVID might have been just like a catalyst to the whole situation with Guitar Center. But Yeah, I mean, it's not
I
a
think
news
I think it runs deeper. I think it runs deeper.
To what degree?
In the sense that 2020, I think it happened a lot before 2020, and they were in trouble. I think it's possibly unfair that Guitar Center gets so much. There's a lot of internet chat about Guitar Center being rubbish, and I've only ever been to one, and it was rubbish. So, or was it? No, two. What? No, sorry, two. One was rubbish. One was brilliant. And I just I don't know. I don't know if chain music stores works for me.
Yeah, I feel the same. To me, it's like a kind of anachronism thing. It's something that dates back to like 10, 15 years ago. But nowadays, you've got the internet. You've got Sweetwater, which is a modern, thriving company. You've got Reverb.
Sure.
Reverb. There's so much content on Reverb. I mean, I think every major store is basically on Reverb, and they have a cool system where you can log in your warehouse. So it's all just in time, and it's updated. I don't really see a reason why you should, especially during the COVID times, go out into a store and actually buy an instrument, except for like, checking out guitars that you have never played before.
Exactly. It's tough, isn't it? I just want to bring up that Ollie was in the chat. I did say hello, but I mispronounced your name, so you probably didn't catch it. And I realized that I forgot to get a drink. So maybe, Dan, you could go to the next section, which is another bankruptcy.
Oh yeah,
or potential bankruptcy. I'm going to jump out for a second and get myself a drink. Back in a second.
He's making it easy for him. Yeah, we're also facing the bankruptcy of Woodbrass. Woodbrass, a French company, have been very aggressive back in the day with pricing and with their offers. And I think they basically fell to their own game and filed for bankruptcy, which is a big hit for the French and also the European music market. And I think it's some sort of consolidation of the whole MI industry at the moment. What are you drinking, Andy?
Austrian gin.
Oh wow!
comes out the taps. Cheers.
Yeah.
No, it's water, of course. I'm being rather well behaved. So I think I don't want to stay on bankruptcy for too long because it's rather negative, but I think I want to sum that up by saying 2020 has been a bitch so far. And I think, but it's just an amplification of if people don't have the ability to adapt, then you're going to have trouble.
Yeah. But just let me add that one thought. I mean, to me, you can really tell that the companies that definitely fell during those COVID times were companies that were struggling before. If you had like a healthy business prior to the whole start of that shit pandemic, I think you would kind of navigated your way around and found some solutions, at least to keep your head above water.
Yeah.
So that's
I think over the chat, Michiel said that the COVID was the final nail in the coffin, and I think that's possibly for somebody else something you would say. Who knows? No one knows yet. But to go back to my first point, it's annoying that a company can just kind of say we're going bankrupt and everybody seems fine with it. It should be taken more seriously than that. Yeah. But let's move on to something a little more positive, maybe.
Yes. Something non-gear related.
Why not? Go on then. Go. I know what you want to talk. I know what you want to talk about. Get it out of the way first. Come on. Oh man, I was so excited. Yeah. In case no one recognized that amazing singing, then Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1. The real reason we're here tonight, just so Dan and I can talk about Star Wars.
Yep, absolutely. That was amazing. I mean, basically at the moment, the whole franchise is woo, Baby Yoda. You know what? You know what Mando is asking Baby Yoda before he goes to bed?
What's that?
I can bring your milk warm, or I can bring your milk cold.
That's his head in dismay.
Yeah.
Apologies if you're listening to this and you're not into Star Wars and or The Mandalorian, but Dan and I are, so you just got to stick with it. I was so happy and so happy. You text me before I had the chance to watch it, and I think you just said something like, "Oh my god, amazing," or something non-spoilery.
Yeah.
I've watched it twice now. It was that good.
Yeah.
And I have to, if you haven't seen it, we're not going to give any spoilers away because that would be naughty. But I just enjoyed the fan service, if I'm honest. You know, they just threw it at us, and there's another one, there's another one, there's another one.
Yeah.
And then the big reveal at the end, which we obviously won't talk about, but that opens up a whole new world.
Yeah, yeah. And the striking thing to me is that, like, we have that, those episodes, they're all almost closed. It's like it's like a story to itself. But the cool thing about that was we didn't even, and I think it's a tiny spoiler, but not really. We didn't even like tackle the slightest bit of the whole Moff Gideon kind of storyline. So that arc hasn't been touched yet, but it was still an amazing episode. So that's pretty rad. Yeah.
Do you know what, Dan? I think it's just simply good. In a world of bankruptcy and people getting sadly ill, to have something like that just made me smile for so long was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And this baby's got big... Sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, Jon Favreau should reboot Star Wars. Yeah, that's actually what a lot of people are thinking. I mean,
Jon Favreau should reboot Guitar Center.
Yeah. Well, you had the Levi's guy reviving Gibson, so maybe that would work too.
Why not? I mean, can things get much weirder?
Huh. Interesting.
So, yeah, just read in the chat, we've got some new gear that I was not aware about. But before we go on to that, I've got to attack. I say attack, it's probably the wrong word. No, I'm going to use the word attack. I'm going to attack another podcast host. His name is Ryan Burke. Ryan Burke says The Mandalorian is rubbish. And, well, I'm paraphrasing there, but he does not enjoy The Mandalorian, and he calls it the Mandaboring one.
So welcome to our section that's called Burke bashing.
Who would win? Who would win? Baby Yoda or Ryan Burke? And why? Let me know in the chat. Who would win, Ryan or Baby Yoda? I want to see Baby Yoda go absolutely nutso. I just want to see him just fly sparks out of his tiny little fists, and really lose. I thought he was going to do it in this first episode. There was a point where I thought, is he going to suddenly, I'm trying not to swear because I really want to. Is he going to kick some bottom? But yeah, so Dan and I like Mandalorian. It's kind of like guitars, Mandalorian, those family people, the ones that live with us, and in some specific order.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I can't wait to see him do the magic hand thing again.
Oh, he's got 3 fingers. No, he's got 3 fingers. So I was doing the 3 fingers.
All right, I hear.
But then that can get confused with, the other star. Are you into Star Wars? Oh dear, Star Trek Discovery at all?
No, not at all.
We're not going to go into that. Don't panic, people. We're not going to go into Star Trek, but I'm trying to stick with it, and I'm not. It's like some guys are dressed as Star Trek people doing other things that Star Trek people don't do. But I quite enjoyed it. Some new announcements, some more news. The Fender American Pro series has been released recently. So, of course, lots have happened since we've been on the air last time. And I've got one, right? Hang on, right there.
All right.
I will get it. And I've actually got the video for this coming out tomorrow.
Ooh, teaser.
That is the American Pro 2 Strat in Mercury. And more spoilers, it could be all the Strat you'd ever need. It's seriously good, Dan. It's seriously good. Rolled fretboard edges, such a nice. They've got this new finish on the back, a new satinized finish. It kind of feels like custom shop. It feels custom shop. The hardware is the best hardware I've ever had on a Strat. You know, on a Fender Strat of this price range. But we're obviously always taking price into consideration. And then for me, the pickups are where you would choose a character, a taste, a flavor. And these are quite hot, quite 60s and quite Stevie Ray Vaughan. So if you're, at least in my experience, if you're looking for the John Mayer kind of tone, that doesn't do it. But that's coming in at around 1,600 euros, around that sort of price. Is that right?
Okay. So that's probably the cheapest US made offering by Fender, right?
I think so. Yeah. So just going to put that up on the screen.
Well, you decide.
Yeah, Dan gets punished every time he uses the I word, and so far we've been streaming for quite a while, for 17 minutes, and he hasn't said it. I'm super impressed. This is the longest we've ever gone. There appears to be something wrong with your screen, Dan. I just have to remove you from the chat. Yeah, but really enjoying what Fender are doing at the moment, and the American Pro 2 is just brilliant.
I'm sorry, Ryan just entered the chat and he said, "Oh, a live podcast, good idea." Yeah.
Well, how do we know it's Ryan? It could be Steve the Great, Steve the Greatest. The only difference between us and 60 Cycle Hum is that 60 Cycle Hum, for some reason, has more listeners, but the quality of our listener is far higher, of course. Ryan must have missed the Mandalorian talk, of course, in which I challenged Ryan to a fight to the death.
With the magic hand thing.
It's Ryan. How do we know it's Ryan? Tell us something only Ryan would know. Say something only Ryan would say, like I'm a dick or something. Oh man, it's so hot in here.
By the way, Michiel already did decide, so he doesn't even need some advice on what to get.
Oh my goodness, we've gone off Mandalorian, Dan, but look at that. Bad acting and bad writing, I assume, from 60 Cycle Hum.
Yeah. Well, is he like just criticizing the podcast content, or is it still Mendo? I think that would apply to us too.
Good point.
You know what, Ryan? Here's my 2 cents about that. It's an old-fashioned series. It's like an old Western movie. It's got a very slow pace. It just got like one storyline. You don't have a lot of back and forth, either time jumps or whatever. It's just very straightforward with few characters. But those characters, they kick ass. And whenever you have a Mando or a Boba in a TV show, then it's a great TV show. No doubt about that.
I always think, Dan, if you don't like something, then just don't watch it or watch something else, you know?
Yep.
It's quite simple. Don't spread your hate on the internet. Why would you do that? And don't go into someone else's podcast and someone else's house and start, pooing on the floor. It's terrible. Let's go back to guitars, shall we? Something that Ryan also knows nothing about. Sir Andy Wood. What happened there? I don't know anything about that. That was your comment.
Oh, I was very intrigued because they started pre-selling the new Andy Wood compressor, and everyone who knows Andy Wood, he's got a great tone and he does all that kind of chicken picking and country-esque style. So, seeing him design a compressor made by Soar definitely like sparked some interest from my side. So I definitely got to try that because my go-to compressor is still the old Carl Martin compressor limiter. Yeah. It's a great tool, and it enhances your sound. It's like basically an always-on pedal. So I can't imagine playing live without that piece of gear. Yeah. It's got like
I'm trying to think of my compressor of choice. My compressor of choice is extremely unsexy. It's the Moore Yellow Comp.
All right. Oh, fair enough.
It's that mini pedal. It's just brilliant. It just adds this little sparkle and somehow makes me sound better.
Yeah, I'll tell you a true story. I think I've said it previously in the podcast. For ages, I've been playing without a compressor, and then because I never really had an idea of why do I need a compressor, and then you just give it a shot, and it's like it opens that whole new world and tonal quality. It was mesmerizing. It was just great.
Man, I mean, this is coming from the guy. I had the Marshall Bluesbreaker Mark 1 and thought it didn't do anything, for years.
I was young.
And
I was dumb.
Almost threw it away. I'm still dumb, just slightly older.
There's still, like everything, there's still something good also in a Dan Electro Pastrami overdrive. No. Sorry.
You're pushing the limitations there, Dan.
Yeah. There was just one remark. Narayan, the cheapest US Fenders are the Performer Series. That is correct.
That is correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
But I actually thought they were Mexican. I'm absolutely wrong, but I always put those in the Mexican camp.
But
I enjoy the. Say that again.
Is that like the same kind of spec wise? Is it like the Performance Series? Is it equal compared to the American Pro? I can't really tell what's the difference between those two. I
kind of lost the will to live halfway through you were talking then because I was watching the chats. all I can say is that I played the American Pro 2 out of the box, and I've never been so impressed with a sub €2,000, sub $2,000 guitar that looks like a Strat and is made by Fender. With a Mexican, you're kind of always looking to upgrade something. With Squier, they're still great guitars, still fantastic guitars for the price. And you know how I felt about that blue one, that made by that company that begins with I. That's a great guitar out of the box, straight out of the box.
Yeah.
So thanks. Thanks, Ryan.
There's some info. The Performer has different pickups and has faster necks with taller frets. So it's basically like a modernized version. So I assume.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get some positive feedback from Ryan. Ryan's got a Jazzmaster. Ryan, sum up the Jazzmaster in a few words, if you would, sir. Because that's the kind of the one I wanted that wasn't a Strat, but I kind of needed a Strat. Ollie has asked if there's a big difference between the VMod 1 and VMod 2 pickups. I've never played the original American Pro Series, so I don't know. So I'm sorry to let you down on that one, but Dan, have you played the original VMod 1 pickups?
Nope.
I spoke to Chris Barocci from Toman, and we were talking about it, and he said that the new pickups are great. And I think he preferred them over the VMod 1s, if that helps.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's talk about a certain guitar player who has joined a different guitar company recently. We mentioned Sir earlier. And,
nice transition.
Yeah. Thanks very much. I'll let you go for this one. I'll give you a small section in which you won't get punished. Okay, no electric shocks for the next couple of minutes.
All right, I can like properly say that right name. Yeah, I'm allowed to?
You can say that. Awesome. Yeah.
Super psyched. Larry Basilio joined the Ibanez roster, and it's not just that she joined the roster; she also brought a brand new AZ guitar with super cool sparkle finish. I don't know if you've seen pictures.
Gorgeous.
Maybe can you share the screen? Is that possible on your end?
I can share a different picture because I'm going to share not the sparkly one. Wait a second. I don't know how to do this. I mean, it's our first time doing this podcasty thing live, so we're probably the best podcast right now for guitars, but
definitely the livest podcast right now.
Definitely the livest. I don't know what's going to happen when I.
You could
I could just hold it up on my iPad, but that would be. Hang on, look at that. There we go.
No, that's not an AZ. Come on, give me a break.
Let's look at that for a moment, though, while I get the other one ready.
But I like that image. It looks so rad. It's like as heavy as F.
As a mother effer, yeah.
A mother effer, yeah. I can send you a picture if you want to share it. There you go.
Hang on. Oh, you're making life very difficult for me, Dan.
I know. You got to adapt. It's never
That's
easy
the picture
with me.
I just downloaded.
Nope. It is?
Yeah, I've gone around in circles now. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Right, it is uploading. People, we will share the AZ right now. There it comes. Come on,
the
baby.
Cyphers, the matte black Cyphers is super cool, but what about that?
Yeah, wait a minute. Come on, internet. I bought new internet, by the way, and it's there we go.
Wow.
So all kinds of low resolution, but yeah, there's Larry Vasiliev with a sparkle. It looks like a concrete finish with that low resolution.
Can you try the picture?
Yeah, sorry, but
or is it?
That is the picture you sent me.
No, is it? No,
it isn't. No, hang on.
No, it's not.
Hang on then. Sorry, people, bear with us. Problem is, I've got a camera in front of my screen. Put me under pressure here.
Take your time. Actually, that guitar looks so great. It's worth waiting a second.
There it is. Whoa, the pressure.
Woohoo! No, it's not concrete.
I like that she's dressed as a Ghostbuster. I think the way she's dressed up as a Ghostbuster is really making that guitar look great.
You could so Photoshop that image. Put that little ghost
on the shoulder,
on the right arm. Who are you gonna call? Awesome. But that guitar looks great.
Larry Vasiliev.
Yeah, so glad to have her. She's a great artist. She's got a great sense of tone, great sense of playing. It's to me, it's always a blend of Joe Satriani and Andy Timmons, because she's got a great tone and she has those great melodies. So it's super cool to have her on board. So we'll hopefully after the whole COVID thing, we'll be able to send her out for a couple workshops and help her promote her music and herself a little bit.
Yeah, I've only I've had the pleasure of meeting her once, and she was awesome. She was such a nice person, and for some reason she knew who I was, and that was like amazing. She's a big inspiration, and in just the way she plays, she makes the guitar sound beautiful, and her melodic playing is just, I don't know, it just, I don't really do, as you know, instrumental guitar. It doesn't often, when it goes widdly widdly widdly, it doesn't inspire me that much.
Mm-hmm.
But when Larry Basilio plays, then yeah. Bogeyman's asking why I don't like to talk about the company that should not be named. The only reason is that Dan is a representative of said company, and Dan gets money in his bank account from that company. And, we just want to lay off the fact that we've got to cover everybody equally, except Gibson. Yeah.
Let me just add, I'm not just employed. I played it like since I'm 6 or 7. So it's not just here, it's also
So he says. I've never done the actual research. I've never researched it, but apparently he's paid to say that. Question for you, Dan.
Yeah. I got dwarf hands. I'm so sorry. Actually, Martin Miller has also dwarf hands, so it shouldn't be a biggie to hold you back from playing the AZs. Given that the neck of the AZ line is actually part of the overall concept, I don't really see those guitars being made with thinner necks, to be honest. But I mean, I would never say never, especially for signature guitars. That might be the case. At the moment, there's just one guitar that has a different neck carving, and it's the ATZ 100, the Andy Timmons signature. All the other signature guitars got the same neck shape, but maybe in the future. No, I wouldn't. I would never say never.
Dan, can you tell us why the oh my goodness, here we go. RG1070 FM was discontinued and had no replacements of the same spec? Come on, Dan.
Well, good question. Like the RG1070 FM was a spot production model. So every year we do a couple finishes and a couple models that are limited and only available for 1 year. And I think the major point here is to combine that guitar with the original Edge tremolo. I know it was a steal, but if you want to have a original Edge tremolo on a made in Japan guitar, you can go for the RG Genesis series. They come with the Ibanez own pickups, V7, V8 S1, and original Edge tremolo, and it's major bang for the buck. I think it's $999. Doesn't come with a case. Sorry, Henning, but the quality is spot on. It's the cheapest made in Japan guitar that you can buy, and they are super good. So, yeah, if I was to spend $1K on a guitar, I'd definitely go for an RG550. No doubt about that. So, but that being said, we have a lot of interesting models for next year that are pretty much in the same vibe. So, yeah, it will be a good year for Ibanez next year.
And the Ibanez section is finished. Thank you, Dan.
My pleasure.
This is going to be rubbish if you're listening to the audio version here, so apologies. We will go back to the main broadcast in a moment. But in the chat, Andy, buy a piece of Ryan's gear and do an unboxing and review of the item from Jason. I think that's an amazing idea, because Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum is currently live on the 60 Cycle Hum channel, doing a live reverb shop thing where he's trying to flog his old crap to people and unsuspecting nice people. So what I'd like people, we can talk about Ibanez one more time if people can type some random numbers and letters into the chat, and we'll see if that actually is an Ibanez model. No more than 10 characters, and we'll test Dan to see if that is actually it.
You know what? That would be a great game. Is it a Wi-Fi code or is it an Ibanez SKU number? Oh, more YY10, please. Oh yeah, the Yvette Young signature guitar is a great instrument. It's super cool. So I hope we'll definitely get some more content. Maybe we can get her on the show again.
I'm sure she'd love to join us, because we had such fun the first time round. I think we went for 2.5 hours, so we're going to try not to do that next time. But you know, I had a great time, and made a good friend.
Yeah.
I want to talk briefly about the Hughes and Kettner mini amps that have come out, mainly because I can say that I've got a video coming for that as well. I've played them. I played them before release at Gear Street 2, and I was disappointed, Dan.
What? Why is that?
The sounds are good.
Okay.
The sounds are good. Okay. So the vintage sounds nice, the rock sounds nice, and the metal sounds nice. But there's no effects loop. There's no reverb. There's no nothing. There's not enough in this little tiny package for me to accept it as an all-in-one thing. I mean, it's super fun. It's like tiny. It's like the size of a couple of pedals stuck together. It's just super small, and you could really throw that in your bag and take that to a gig, or at least a rehearsal. But it doesn't quite encapsulate everything from the Black Spirit series that it could. Mm-hmm. So you've got all that power, all that cool stuff, the Black Spirit, and they forgot to include a reverb or maybe a little delay that's a little softer on the old processing power. Mm-hmm. But someone's pointed out something interesting. Sarang again, you're ruling it with the comments tonight, man. The amp should have been pedals, and that's interesting. Yep. Maybe Hughes and Kettner might do that in the future. You never know. You just don't know. You just don't know. Here's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I do have some here, actually. I can plug my videos, but Dan can't talk about Glorious Ibanez. It's my channel. It's my channel, Michiel. Do what the hell I want. Dan, you're a guest in my house.
It's okay. I think I get my spot every now and then, so that'll do. So, but let's go back to the using Kettner, like the nano pedals. So you think that tone wise they are like they're good?
Got one. Shall I get one? Just so you can see.
Yeah. Show me.
1 second.
So now he's gone. Now I can talk about Ibanez guitars. If you have any questions, just
I've got all three.
You can comment. My channel, my rules.
I've just found out that my Bluetooth connection doesn't come through while I'm outside. Can I hear you? Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. I couldn't. My Bluetooth cut out as I shut the door. That's the Spirit of Rock.
All right.
It's a tiny little thing, and I feel bad I haven't opened this one yet. Ooh. Oh, it's kind of an unboxing.
Live unboxing.
Live unboxing. My goodness, a new segment. Amazing. Right. White box. This is the Rock. We've got the little manual. That's useful. And here's the tiny little thing. There it is, coming out. Don't eat that silica gel stuff. Not good for you. There it is. So there is the Spirit of Rock, and here is a Boss SD1.
Okay,
Ooh,
that's very small. My first impression would be that it looks a little bit gimmicky.
Yeah, but in all honesty, it sounds great. It's extremely fun to play. I didn't have great luck with it the first time around I played it, but that was down to user, problem between keyboard and computer or whatever it is. Michiel will tell you what the thing is for that. But yeah, it's very nice. It's just missing a few things that I think would have been super easy to have included. And they're marketing it as a 25-watt amp, but only... Oh, hang on, have they changed the marketing? It's at 4 ohms. They're doing the thing where at 4 ohms it's 50, I think. No, they've changed it. Oh, that's nice. They've changed it. It's 25 watt at 8 ohms. That's nice.
All right. Cool.
When I saw a version, they were marketing it as 50 watts but in 4 ohms. And not many people run 4 ohm cabs these days.
Yeah. Well, so what's your overall impression? Like, if you had to spend $200 on a little practice amp, would you buy one of those nano amps or something different?
It depends on the application. Sorry to give a complicated answer, but that is so small and so portable that if I were running, on a train or a student or something, that's so easy to throw into a backpack or something. But as someone's it's Poo Ninja's quite rightly said in the chat, Joyo band amps have effects loops. There's also the Moore amps. There's a lot going on in that price range. So to answer your question, I don't know if I would buy one of these for $200. If I wanted an amp of that sort of price range, I would still go for the Katana 50, which I think is not. Is Katana 50 $199 or? It's 245 at the moment. So for €245, you get a 50-watt Boss Katana, which has got loads of stuff going in, but also not an effects loop, I might add. But it has built-in effects. I think if they just spent a little bit more time and put a few more things in it, it would have been a lot better, because the Black Spirit, the Big Daddy, sounds awesome. But as I said, if you're running train to train and had to throw something in a rucksack, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you should really try one. I would definitely say try one, but The rock one's a lot of fun. You get a lot of AC/DC tones out of it straight away. But again, no reverb.
But like for a like practice room rehearsal situation, you could still use those tiny amps.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to put it up on Thursday against the drum kit.
All right.
So
cool.
I'm going. This is cool. I get to talk to people about the behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to my friend's house, who's a drummer, and I will stand in the control room and play guitar while he sits on the drums.
Nice. So can he go all in?
It should be fun.
Like, throw everything he got into the drums? And
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know yet. I haven't done it.
All right.
But I do know that we run, when I rehearse there with him and have some fun, we use a 20-watt Jet City amp, which is a valve amp, of course. But yeah. Interesting. Lucas has just said about the MV50 from Vox. Also lacks an effects loop. Am I asking too much, Ben?
No.
Am I asking too much?
It's interesting to hear that, because to me it seems like that effects loop kind of thing and the reverb is kind of a deal breaker for a lot of people. So nowadays you got to really position carefully where you want to have your product to sit, and $200 is not extremely cheap. So it's not like you buy it just right away. And if the competition is so fierce with the Katana 100 with a little built-in amp or the Katana 50 with a speaker, we'll see how successful they will be.
The metal, for example, you kind of need an effects loop in that. Like with the vintage, you can clean it up with a single coil and put a go into the reverb, then into the amp. But in the metal, you can't go into the reverb and then set the amp to metal, because I mean you could, but it might not sound very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to put the picture of. Oops, no, I just put that picture up again just to show the low resolution. So, for no reason. That's how we're rolling tonight.
Yeah, the Larry of the week.
Yeah, so Larry of the week. Maybe she'll sponsor us. That'd be a nice idea.
Or maybe she should join an episode. That would be cool.
I'm sure she would. Would. I'm just looking at the thing there. Dan.
Yes. My name.
You have a wife?
Yeah.
Any gear that you've that's come into your house that you shouldn't tell her about this week?
What shall I say? Actually, I bought a new guitar, and I bought it today.
That'll count, yeah.
And I told her, well, it's okay, because she knew that it was like coming. Long story short, I was, we have a big archive at Ibanez Germany headquarters. We have like 2,000 old guitars there-ish, 3,000 guitars, old guitars from the 70s, 80s, noughties, whatever. And one of the most precious items that we got are those old artist models, like 9081, 9082 artists, that semi-hollow, and those are nice. And just recently, I was checking a few of those guitars out to make sure that serial numbers and the color codes and all that stuff is right, and have our marketing guys take a couple of pictures for some vintage features. So I had the chance to spend a couple minutes with it, and it was glorious. And I knew it was glorious from previous exhibitions. And long story short, I found a very nice seller from Berlin, and he had a Neomint AS 100 from 1981 available. And we chatted a little bit back and forth, and it belonged to his friend who unfortunately had an accident and died. And he was sure that he will, that he would keep the guitar forever. But he said, like, at a certain point, it just felt like it was supposed to, go to someone who appreciates it more than him. And so I was happy that he decided to sell it to me. And it's inbound for maybe early next week or so. So I'm very excited because, there's something. I'm not a big semi-hollow guy, to be honest, because I've never really just got it. What was the deal about jazz guitars? A lot of those guitars, they felt a little bit plasticky to me when you played it. I didn't really resonate with them, but with some old AS 335s from the G brand and some old, for example, Fender thin lines, they were so good, and I was always kind of, I couldn't really narrow it down why I liked some of those guitars and I didn't like others. And up to this day, I still can't decide why I like some of those and I don't like others. But my bottom line was that I love the AS100 and that I definitely needed one. And since I'm born in '83, I actually wanted to find a nice example from 1983, but apparently they changed specs in '82, and the best ones are from '79 to '81. And luckily, I've got an '81 model. And it's cool because all those adult chords, D minor 9 to D minor 11-ish kind of thing, they sound so gorgeous on a semi-hollow. I don't have a semi-hollow with me, but if you play that kind of, and then you go, that stuff. It just sounds right. Those adult chords, they sound right and they sound great on a semi-hollow guitar. So it's basically my first real and rather expensive semi-hollow guitars. That's why I'm so psyched about it. So I'll share pictures with you and maybe play it a little bit in one of the next episodes.
I'd love that. Although I kind of hate you a little bit for having that guitar, because not only is the AS100 something I would love to own, it's also a birth year guitar for me. So it's kind of like I've been trying to nail down a birth year guitar for me. And that got to the top sort of, I don't know if they were 5 or 10, but that certainly made it into the top of the list. So I'm rather jealous and rather envious of you there, but I wish you all the best, and hopefully one day I get to play it if we open up our countries again and get to actually be there in person, and I'll insist that you bring it with you.
Yeah, I will. So what about you? Did you get any new gear? I'm pretty sure about that. Where do I start?
It's slightly different for me because parcels arrive every day, because it's my job to unbox them and make videos and stuff like that. So it is slightly different. So Pooh Ninja's brought something interesting in the chat. The WAF, the wife acceptance factor versus gas, gear acquisition syndrome. So that's got to be is that a ratio? Is that?
Yeah.
If you had wife acceptance factor, no, gas divided by wife acceptance factor, and then if your number is a positive, I need to do some math on that. That's interesting. Someone do the math on that in the chat. How does that work as an equation? But my wife acceptance factor, I've heard that's podcast language, by the way. If you want to do inverted commas, you go because it's audio. I learned that on another podcast. I get stuff arriving every day, so it is rather easy for me to add a parcel to that list, should I say. But also, she does my accounts, so there's no hiding there. I'm trying to answer your question. But I'm going to be super disappointing and tell you that the only gear that I was unauthorized to purchase was more camera lenses. And that's super boring, but a necessity for this job. However, I had do you really want to know? Or you just been polite?
Yeah. No.
Well, I use the Panasonic Lumix cameras, and they run micro four third lenses. And I've been trying to separate myself from my videos from the back wall. So I've got a 14mm micro four thirds lens at 1.7, which gives a lot of little blurriness to just behind my fro. So that's quite nice. Yeah. That was very nice. I did get I did sell a guitar though, however, in the last 2 weeks and since we spoke last. And that was my Gibson Les Paul R8. And the guy that bought it was extremely happy, and absolutely did the right thing. I kind of missed the guitar. The guitar was great, a great guitar, really good feeling, but I just don't get on with Les Pauls. Generally, they're just heavy and they fall off my lap, or if I stand up, I get backache. It's just not for me. But I have a Maybach Spirit of 59, and it does almost everything I need in a Les Paul. I will upgrade the pickups at some point. That's kind of a low a low point for it. Oh, I'm trying to get rid of Pure Ninja's comment. But yeah, I saw it to a guy who lives fairly near me. He was so happy. He asked me to take the pickups out. He did a full, he wanted me to strip the thing down and really check that it was kosher, because obviously Gibsons can be fake sometimes. Yeah, it was interesting. He was an older gentleman who I don't know if he'll. I'm trying to be. That's rather rude. I was going to say I don't know if he'll play it to the level that it should be played, because I certainly didn't, and it was kind of wasted on me, really. But he was so happy, and he openly said he's not a very good player, but he just always wanted one. So that made me very happy.
Yeah, that's the best part. Yeah.
Oh no! I'm absolutely wrong, Dan. I did buy something. I bought a Spark.
There you go.
See, this is what it's like being me. Just forget. That's awful. I bought a Spark from Positive Grid, and it is flipping fantastic. And I think it's $250.
Holy shit.
So I think, in answer to your question about the Hughes and Kettner, the old mini stuff, Spirit Nano series, it doesn't plug into an external cab, but it is a whole lot of amp for that money.
All right.
We've got Warren Hewitt in the chat saying hairtastic. Thank you, Warren. That's fine coming from a gentleman such as yourself, who also has a mighty, mighty do. I hope you're doing marvelously well, my friend, and maybe we can chat sometime soon as well. Maybe, Dan, we open up the chat soon.
Yeah, please.
To people that can join us. Maybe Warren would like to join us for a little chat about guitars. Warren, if you would like to join us, let me know and I'll send you a link. Last time we did that, it went absolutely nuts. So hopefully we don't get joined by everybody this time, although that would be fun.
I'm just following up Poo Ninja and Michiel, who are discussing the WAV factor. If it's a correlation or graph or whatever. They should probably do like a thesis on that.
Please.
Yeah.
If there's two people that can, it's you two.
Yep.
So I'm just having such a great time, Dan. I know we're trying to do like a job here, and it's kind of like a podcast is a thing, but I just like talking guitars with you, and that's why we started this.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a job to me. It's like really sitting down and just talking. There's no like expectation from my side. It's just like having fun and exchanging infos and get in touch with all those cool guys like Walid and Amanda and the Boogeyman and Poo Ninja, of course, and Michiel and Ryan as well.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Valeria, who I'm pretty sure runs the Gen Majura Chili fan club on Instagram. And it's so nice to have you here, because you were here with the Gen Majura chat earlier on in the week. And you seem to be a new regular to the shows, and I'm very happy to have you here as part of the channel. Warren's hair is dietastic. So this is called dead air. This is when I look at the list of stuff to do, and Dan starts playing his guitar.
No. I was just actually wondering, what was the wildest hairdo that you had? Like, is that already like max level, or can you do even wilder?
Oh no, I can do Gene Wilder. How many times am I going to get the chance to make that joke?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if I haven't done it, but it's that long. Look how long that is. If I was to comb that out, that would look insanely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think the weirdest one was when I had red dreadlocks. That was odd. And I looked even more like Tingle Tangle Bob, or Sideshow Bob, as we say in English. Now we go to the section of the show where I share some hair care tips.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right in at number 1. Sponsored by L'Oreal, because we're worth it. Number one hair tip: get a haircut. Shave it all off and put on a wig. That's got to be the easiest way to have hair these days. Shave your head. There's some amazing wigs I've seen on Facebook ads where people are very happy with their amazing like wigs. And one day you could be like an anime character. Next day you could look like this. You know, I'm down with that kind of thing.
Yeah. So when you wake up in the morning, like, do you have to spend a lot of time to get it like to that kind of shape, or is it already there?
No, it's just a bit higher. It's like I go to sleep like that. It's just,
okay.
It's not much different, if I'm honest. I've never been happier with my hair. If we're going down that route, I've never been happier. And
I've never been
let's
happier
check
with
on. No, because it's doing its own thing. It's doing its own thing.
Yeah.
Bogeyman has checked Ryan's sale. So Ryan's live on YouTube right now, trying to sell his stuff to people. And apparently it was weird.
Oh, lovely.
I've actually just let's throw in a new secret thing. There's a secret thing that I've got coming very soon that I can't talk about at all, but Dan knows about it. And there's no way I can share with you. But I'm working with some other musicians in Austria to bring you even more content, shall we say? So that's exciting, and another reason to buy more gear.
Honey, it's expenses. Business expenses.
Expenses. It's a write-off, a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for some, it's a new guitar. You know.
For
me,
some,
it's just a tax write-off.
It's just a tax write. I mean, I can give it to the tax persons.
Yeah. Oh, I got to show you something cool. You know, we did a super cool promotion with Ibanez last week. We were giving away a Doom guitar, a Doom customized RG. And one of the coolest merch items they sent me is the pink Doom guy. Isn't that super cool?
Again, jealous.
Yeah. And you know what? Wait a second. I'm loving this thing. It's great.
It works so well in 8-bit kind of
Yeah, that's the spirit.
chip tune. After we spoke about you showed me that I think we were talking on WhatsApp or whatever, one of those fun things, and I listened to the whole of the new Doom soundtrack on Spotify. It is amazing.
Yep. Big time.
It is so hard, and it's like this cinematic production. It is so good, and yeah, I was editing video like a monster, like clicks, cut, do the transition thing. It's great fun, great music to edit video to.
maybe next time I can ask the guys from Bethesda. Maybe we can give away something. Not this, because this is mine. But maybe we can, for the next DLC, we can give away something. I don't want to promise too much,
That's
but
nice.
I think they would be open to that. So I'll try to figure something out.
A nice little podcast gift.
Yeah, but the thing with Doom,
I
think now we're digressing a little bit, but the cool thing about Doom is that whole immersion of the game. Like you're zooming in the game and you have the soundtrack and you're slaying and slashing, and before you notice it, there are 2 hours already gone, and you had a great experience and you're sweating and it's like you're completely done with the day, but you had such a great time, and that's what I really love about the game. So I'm looking forward to playing the new DLC, Ancient Gods. I
don't have the game, Dan, so I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Wait a sec.
I don't have it.
Oh no, this way.
Doesn't that mean you've killed someone in prison?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh dear. Ghetto Dan. That should be your alter ego. Yeah.
Oh
man.
Ninja wants us to give a Pia away. Nice try.
How are you seeing this chat and I'm not? Oh, like a Pia. There we go. Actually, what I'm going to be doing, I could also, what's super easy is to give away software download codes. There is a lot of new good guitar software either on the market or coming to the market soon. And I've been blown away by this stuff recently. And I think we should probably contact those people and see if they want to give our good viewers and listeners some download codes to download some guitar software.
That sounds cool. I'm still wondering what does Pooh
Why not?
Ninja want with Steve Vai's wife? Why does he want to have Pia? Are you a weirdo, Pooh?
Pooh's the least weird person I've ever spoken to.
I know. I'm just kidding.
That's a lie. He's super weird, and I love him for it. Isotope does make cool stuff, and they're cool people. All right. Well, Dan, I am making a list of companies to talk to give away stuff on this podcast. I'm writing an email right now as we're talking. Give us some software, you cool people. There we go. Sent.
Awesome.
Send that to Isotope. We'll see that. Dan is the. I mean, you said we digressed, but I think we digressed more when we talked about guitars. We were kind of more off topic than on topic tonight. But I'm fine with that, and I have absolutely no issue with that at all. I guess I'd like to open up the chat a little bit. Maybe we can do that in a few minutes if anybody wants to join us. We're not going to stream for 3 or 4 hours tonight. We're coming up to about an hour, or just over an hour. Maybe we open up for 20 minutes or so, and then first come, first served, I guess.
Oh, Valeria's asking, Dan, how about the cool Ibanez hoodie?
Is there such a thing, Dan? Do Ibanez do hoodies?
We can do that. No problem. Next week.
Next week? An Ibanez giveaway?
Yep.
My goodness, people. See, all you got, this is the thing. You don't ask, you don't get, Valeria. Exactly. Dan's going to give away a size XS Ibanez hoodie next week.
Oh, there's the thing. There's no, and this is what I always complain about. There's no girl fashion in Ibanez. Like we have a rather wide selection of merch, but it all starts from medium size. There's no girlies. And I think Jen Majura already complained about that. She said, I want my small t-shirts.
All right. Well, we've got at least all you got to do is tune in, I guess. I don't know how we're going to give it away. Can I give you a tip, Dan, on how not to give something away?
Yeah, please.
Don't ask people to subscribe to your YouTube channel to win a guitar, because when you announce who won the guitar, they all unsubscribe again, and then YouTube hates you for a month. I've been in YouTube jail for about 30 days, and I'm finally coming out of it. I think we might just have to do some random thing. Are you a fan of random, Dan?
Well, we can just ask a question, something that is totally unrelated to the... Yeah. Well,
oh yeah. I like that.
Ibanez multi-tool. Oh well, not impossible, but maybe not next week. Maybe we start with the hoodie and then do something else.
I have one here, and let me promote Ibanez for a moment. It's the thing I use the most. I have that right next to me when I do videos, because if anything ever needs a little bit of tinkering with, my Ibanez multi-tool does it all. Yeah, so I recommend them. If you don't win one anytime, buy one, because they're like, what, $25? Something like that?
I'm not even sure, maybe less. Because usually if you buy a prestige model, you have a multi-tool with it. So yeah. I was never really in a position to have to buy one. $15, yeah. 15.
Well, then in that 15. Case, that's Andy's tip for the day. If you don't win one or don't have one, go and buy one for $15. They're brilliant. I would argue with that and some nut sauce and possibly the little screwdrivery thing that I've got and some fast fret or something like that. I don't think you need much more to keep your guitar in tip-top condition. Yeah,
More
so let's open
questions.
up the chat. I will find up. I'll find out how I can do that. It turns out I can share the screen. That's interesting. Could have just done that earlier. Hey, Stephen. So, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, we are now opening up the YouTube chat, and I'm going to post the link in the chat to see if anyone wants to join us. 3, a 2, a 1. Oh, yeah, and a string winder and a string cutter. Thanks. So, if you click that link, I need to do a video on that. Tools you absolutely need. And then I need to just copy and paste this chat. I quite like this comment, Dan. Andy should get a hoodie. Probably should, yeah. But let's be honest, it wouldn't be me wearing it, would it? As soon as I put a hoodie down in this house, somebody else picks it up and wears it. So yeah, that's the StreamYard link. If anyone wants to join us in this marvelous world of chat, then you may by clicking that link. If not, you just want to post us questions or comments in the chat, then we can answer them, of course. Yeah, so we've got a couple of questions. Here it is. First question. Hey guys, what's your favorite guitars? That is such a loaded question. My goodness. May I go first, Dan?
Yep, please.
It changes several times daily for me because I'm lucky enough to have a nice guitar collection that I'm very, very lucky to have. Very often, my go-to guitar is my Fender Custom Shop Telly because it just is insane as an instrument. It's just so good, and that's my sort of noodle around and do stuff with. Dan knows this, that if I can only have one guitar with me, it will be this one, the Ibanez AZ WTF 45671 and
2204F Trans Agua Blue.
Yeah, that one. That's my one if I could take, because it never goes out of tune. You can stick it in a car and it'll. I haven't tuned that in weeks. Still in tune. Dan, what about you, mate?
Fairly easy question. My go-to guitar or desert island guitar would be AT100 SB, the original 1999 AT100, signed by Andy. 175 pieces produced, and a hell of a guitar because it resonates so amazing. And it's got that home frequency to it. I think we've talked about that several times, but that's a guitar, whenever I grab it, it just feels right. You know, I do those kind of...
Yeah. Also, the Harley Benton I have a lot of fun with, the signature one, because Bogeyman's just pointed out it's not actually a signature Harley Benton. I just helped develop it. But if I want to rock, and that's all I want to do, like play some A chords and some D chords and just get a nice raucous, nasty rock sound, then I can do this. Hang on, look, there we go. There it is. Hello.
Andy, question. Is there a successor coming of the Ferris Blue one?
A successor?
Yeah.
Was that a question?
That's a question. Like, would there be another, like, version 2 or different model in that color or something else?
I don't know. I do know that I'm being very careful with what I can say. I do know that it's been a long day, so my brain is very vulnerable right now. I know that they suggested maybe we do some other colors because that guitar model is so popular, and it should be because it's great. There might be another color coming. In the sense that it's been talked about, and why not? Because people have requested it. And the thing is with Harley Benton is if you make 250 of them, you're pretty much guaranteed to sell all of them, you know. So why not? That being said, as far as I know, there are no plans to do anything else in Ferris Blue, mainly because they probably can't make the same mistake again. It's
damn. How do we replicate this mistake? No,
it's hard to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, I've got a color suggestion. What about Andy Apple Red?
Andy Apple Red. Mate. Okay, I like it. I like it. There we go. There's a nice non-guitar question. Favorite beverage beside water? Dan?
I start? Yep.
Yeah.
Iced coffee. Iced coffee. You can just, put it right here, inject it. Iced coffee.
Okay.
I can only bring it in cold. I cannot bring it in warm. It's like, nope, coffee only cold.
Okay, well, I'm. Is that with milk and with all the stuff and
Yeah, maybe vanilla flavor. Yeah, stuff like this.
Dan, are you actually a teenage American girl? I'm learning stuff about you. That's a high quality drink. It's just I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have that stuff. So again, you win.
You can use other milk, like soy milk or something like that.
Quite a fan of mandel milk, actually.
That's
almond
yummy.
milk.
Yep. But actually, our friend Henning is also a big fan of vanilla flavor. So I'm not the only one who's a Mr. Fancy Pants when it comes to coffee. Dr. Pepper cherry vanilla.
Goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. We've just had an offer to give something away right now.
Oh, wow. What is
it? Hang on. I've got my iPad down here and I'm getting messaged by okay, he's there. Okay. I just happen to have it right next to me on my desk. We are going to give something away right now, Dan, and this is not planned. This is not thrown in there as some kind of sponsorship. He's just messaged me on Facebook, noticed that we're live, and has offered something to the people currently watching. Wow. So if you're watching this in the future, apologies, but, where were you? This is the drop. This is something I was actually testing out today and made the video for. Here it comes. First, Dan, let's assess it because the video is not released yet. But this is something looks like a guitar strap, right?
Yep.
Because it
Part
is.
of it, at least. Yeah.
What you do is hang on. That goes on your guitar. So let me just do this. I'll just pick this one up, and then it's not going to fit on there, of course, because I've chosen the guitar with the biggest strap button, and I had issues with this today, which is why it's stuck. Right, I'm not going to do it, but imagine it is on there. No, I've got to do it. What it does, it allows you to adjust your strap as you're playing. So your strap height. Come on, you swine. So it's not so far not a very good advert for the guitar. The strap, sorry.
It's super easy to use. You can apply it within seconds. Yeah.
It's like every strap you get. There we go. Sorry. Apologies to the people that make drop.
Any question?
There it is.
Is that
Yes.
real leather or is it fake leather?
It's fake leather.
All right. Perfect.
Pretty sure. Oh, I don't know. No, now it smells like real leather. I'm doing the sniff test. I don't know. John is in my Facebook chat. He's all over my DMs. What you do is you put it on your strap, so then you can't really see it. There we go. So that goes through the strap thing that would normally go on the strap button of the guitar, and then what you do is you squeeze that, and it goes higher or longer. Dan's not looking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's super cool.
So you can adjust your strap length by just squeezing that together, which of course I'm doing a terrible job of demonstrating. But it's not like it's my job or anything. I don't know if it is vegan friendly.
That was actually my intention, to check whether it's a vegan product or not, because sometimes you have those hidden ingredients that contain like animal produce, and I prefer not. I'm just going to.
Before I confirm or deny, I tell you what, you can think of some kind of question of giving that away, and we will give it away right now in the chat.
All right, let's think about a cool question. Let's take a guess. How many guitars does Andy currently own?
Oh, no, hang on. That's not fair because I don't know the answer to that. We could do we could do a how many are in the room right now.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Go.
Okay, so how many guitars are in my room right now? That is the question. If you get the answer right, you will get one of these drops shipped to you, which even though I did a terrible job of demonstrating, it was actually pretty easy to use. I just picked the wrong guitar. And I don't know, man. So we'll open it up for a moment. Dan, you can read out the numbers, and I'll actually go around the room and count them. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll also pretend to count more. 20, 106.
So we have 42, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9, we have 8 again. So we have 19, we have 10, we have 17, 11. All of them, which is also a nice answer. 7, 249, 15, 11, 13, and 14. Actually, I would answer it's at least one too few. So you're short one guitar.
There's one Ibanez AS 100 too few in here.
Oh, YY10. Awesome. So, how many? Let me know the answer, and I can let you know who won.
Let's just I got to talk to Dan for a second. Let's do a 30-second countdown.
All right.
So you thought that was going to go to 0, didn't you? But it didn't. It stopped at 11. Because that's the way we are on the Guitar Stories podcast. What happened to 7? Oops. The answer, Dan, and people of the world, is, drumroll please, 20 guitars. There are 20 guitars in this room currently.
Boogeyman said
so
19.
So I know someone said 20. Sadly, Dale says 21. Has anyone got 20?
Nope. But I think like the first reply was 19, and that was very early on.
Yeah.
That was Boogeyman. Yeah,
Boogeyman has guessed 19, so it makes kind of sense, Dan, to go with the person who was first, right?
Yes, indeed.
Look at this. Look, after we've announced it, some chancer has written in 20. Fede, I love your style. I love your style. Sadly, yeah, Dale, you were close. We're gonna give it to. Yeah, we're gonna give it to Boogeyman. Where are you? I can't find the Poo Ninjas guessed 249. Boogeyman there said early. 19.
Yeah, super early.
How
do you
Boogeyman, do you have? I don't. There's 20.
Oh, 20, yeah. I don't. It's 20.
Come on, Dan. I'll show you. Right, there's 2 behind me, which went up last week because I had a spare space, you know. Yep. There's 4 on the wall just there. 4 on the wall. And then I can't show you really, but down here, there's another rack down there with 5 guitars on there.
All right.
And then just over here, there's another rack down there with another 9 guitars. Cool. By the way, in case anyone is really counting, Michiel, 2 of them are bass guitars. 1 of them is a bass 6, and I count that as a guitar-based instrument. How many of those 20 are for me? Only 2, Michiel. So, Boogeyman lives in Sweden. I don't see why that's a problem. Boogeyman, you can absolutely have it. if you want to forfeit your prize, you may. Of course, we're not forcing this upon you. John from Drop says it is a real leather strap. However, a vegan version will be available soon.
That is very cool to hear.
There we go. That's great. So, yeah, that's nice to know, because I mean, that's a whole nother conversation for the guitar world, but I think there is no need to have a leather thing right there. For some people, you know, it's nice to have the option, I guess. Yep. If I had the option, I'd probably go for the vegan version, just, you know, just so I didn't have to smell it too much. So, Bogeyman, let us know if you'd like to take the prize. The prize is yours. I somehow have to get your contact details from you. Didn't think this through, did we?
That was so spontaneous.
Wow, that's what this guy's doing. And a small little another trailer for the video that's coming up. It's really good. When
is the video coming out about the drop?
I don't know. I haven't scheduled it yet because I've got many videos coming out, and I haven't edited it yet. But I had a good experience with it. Otherwise, I would not be giving it away on the podcast, because I don't, you know, I have to believe in something, is what I'm saying. Hi, Kevin. Kevin's just said hi. We had a question about favorite amps earlier, but before we do that, Bogeyman says give mine to Sarang. Is that in the rules? I suppose.
Why not? I mean, he could pass it on.
If you want it, you can do whatever you want with it. So Sarang, who has been asking some amazing questions tonight and really contributing to the chat, and he asked the favorite amps question. Sarang, I guess you could contact me by messaging the Guitar Stories podcast on Instagram would be the best way, Dan, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What is our handle on Instagram? You're the man in charge of all that.
Well, it's Guitar Stories podcast, just one word. That's the handle.
Oops.
And we'll be filling it with some more content in the next couple days to make sure that we get all things rolling and get you informed about all the news out there in the MI.
Yeah, Guitar Stories podcast on Instagram. Sarang, if you contact us on there, you will be the proud owner of a drop.
Awesome.
But yours will be the right way up. The drop. Whoops. Okay, cool. Anything else from the chat? Sarang is there. If anyone should... Oh, my goodness. Our viewers and listeners are so polite. They're trying to give it to each other. If anyone should have it, it should be Dale, because he got real close to the answer. I'm not getting into this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to mediate a nice competition. So I'm stepping in and saying, Dale, I apologize, but it has to go to Sarang, because that's what Bogeyman wanted. You lot are so nice. How nice is that, Dan? How many times do people try and give stuff to other people? That's beautiful. Thank you.
Full of love.
Cyclone Mods from Nissan 570 LSX. I don't have a Cyclone. That's Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum. You're mistaking the wrong channel and Rod podcast. I do have a Duosonic, which I think is what you mean. I will be... Oh, I don't know. I don't know what mods I would do to that. It's a pretty nice guitar as it is. I'd only be modding it to increase the quality, and it's pretty much where it needs to be anywhere. Anyway, oops. How do I get that banner off? Turn the banner off. Turn the banner off. Turn the banner off. I can't. All right, but we're going to have that on there for the rest of the show, because I can't figure out how to turn it off. Oh, I got it.
There you go. Super.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be modding the Duosonic. I will be modding. I'll be finishing off the Fender Strat, or releasing the video at least, because I put a fuzz pedal in it, and it sounds pretty darn fine. What else? Oh, that's nice. Look at these nice people. It's wonderful. Got people arguing in the world and nasty things happening in certain places, and we got this wonderful chat going on. It gets even worse, Dan. Look at this. I'm happy just to enjoy a live stream content. This is terrible. You're too kind. So I'm amazed no one wanted to join us, join in the chat, in the webcam chat. That would have been nice to see some people. You know, I should mod a tiny guitar or a bass. Yeah, probably should, Michiel. I don't want to plug the channel anymore because we're on the channel right now, but I've got so much content coming up. I can't even. It needs to be 8 days in the week. It's impossible.
Can you give us a sneak peek? What's coming? What's coming next, Dave?
Yeah, so we've got the Fender, the American Pro 2.
All right, question.
We've got.
If you had to pick between the Tele and the Strat, which one would you pick?
Oh God, I'm getting so much trouble for this with the boys at Tolman. It's like saying, "Do you love Chris more or Guillaume more?" It's really tough. Because when you say that, that's what I hear. That's what I'm in the middle, going, "I kind of like both of them," and then I think that I have played Strats live more than I've played Tellies live. I always thought a Strat was more versatile. I've since found out that that's wrong. You just, you dial in tones with a Telly. That, oh man, it's such a hard question. I have 2 kids, and that's like, asking which one I prefer. Although my son did fall in a duck pond on the weekend, I wasn't very pleased with him then. So, I could have chosen my daughter on that one. I call him Goose now. His nickname is now Goose. I can't answer that question, Dan. I can't.
All right, cool.
But
I'll accept that as an answer. So they're both.
I can't answer. I can't. It's a non-answer. I'm sorry.
Yep. All right. What else is coming?
We'll answer that question in a moment. So I want to hear in the chat first which your favorite amps are, because that's the question we've got on screen right now. What is only have one amp? Which one would it be? What else is coming? I've got some microphone testing. I'm bringing microphone testing to the channel because it's very hard for people to test mics when recording guitar, and we're in lockdown all over the world and in some shape or form. And lots of people are recording, and I found out that the most expensive mic is not always the best choice. So I've got an SM57 shootout, as in who makes the best 57? Is it Shure? Is it some other company that makes one that looks exactly like it? I've got an SM7B versus the new Shure MV7. That's interesting. I've got pedals galore, man. I've got the new black hole, dark hole, black darkness, black hole. I don't know, man. I've got so many cool fuzz pedals coming as well. There's a insane fuzz pedal called the Animalizer. It's just here. It's been on my desk since I unboxed it and made the video for it. It's a big muff, but with more knobs. And it is brilliant. So that is an actual plug there. That's the TX Effects. It's a man and his daughter making them, and they are brilliant. So Animalizer, that's my top tip.
Nice.
I've got the Rocker 15.
If you should ever release a pedal that's improving the sound, you should call it the Livandizer.
The Livandizer. Right.
Livan?
Ah, okay.
The Austrian term Livan is like very good.
Livan, yeah.
Yeah, Livandizer.
Livandizer. I'm going to write that down. Digitally write that one down.
I like the Animalizer as well. It's very, very.
It's a very apt name as well. It does. It does. It's got some different gain stages. It's got pre-gain. It's got. It's awesome. Great, and there are so many different types of fuzz that I love, and that one is particularly good. Okay, and there's more, Dan. There's daily stuff. More chats coming from 42 Gear Streak. Oh, one video I would like to plug is when I went to 42 Gear Streak Part 2, I asked many of the guitar players there to play the well-known riff, Sweet Child of Mine, by a band called Guns N' Roses, which you'd think was quite simple, quite easy for guitarists that have played guitar for a while. However, I did something to them while they were playing, which made it less easy for them to play. And I won't give away what I did. Michiel knows. It's a very, very funny video. So that's pure entertainment and fun. And you get to see Kiana also having far too much fun. It's disgusting how much fun she had. But yeah.
Awesome.
Should we go to this amp question?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the chat and read out what the people have answered so far?
Yeah. Please. There's some interesting answers. What else do we have? We had like the Ashdown Evo 3, Fender Blues Deluxe. Well, that's a safe bet. EVH 5150. Also, I like the original PV 5150. That was also a great amp. Soldano Slow. They just released the Slow 30, which is also a great amp. I haven't tried it yet, but only heard like good things about it. So that's definitely on the testing list. What else do we have there? More knobs, more better. The Victory.
There was a Kraken. Yeah, the Victory. Yeah.
You know, JCM 800 is also great and a safe bet. You know, if you're looking for the classic rock tone. Yeah. Also, if you're going for like the convenient catch-all, definitely like Mesa Boogie Mark series would be a good catch, because they can basically do almost everything. And if you need ultra clean with a lot of headroom, my go-to amp would be the Lone Star or the Stiletto from Mesa.
I'm not really familiar with Mesa, if I'm honest. It's not a brand that I've ever really delved into, but I've played Studio 20, Studio 25. Loved it. And there's one in the custom room at Tolman that is just amazing, but it is the heaviest amp I've ever seen that is so small. It's not the heaviest amp ever, and it's not the smallest amp ever, but it's the heaviest small amp I've ever seen.
Awesome. Yeah. Friedman B100.
What's your answer for that one? Yeah, the Friedman B100. That's a good amp. I played the Twin Sister at 42 Gear Street 2, and that was amazing. That truly was. It's almost a challenge to get a bad tone from it. That's how good it is.
That's cool.
Just two dirty Shirleys stuck together, which I think is brilliant, because single channel amps are of course beautiful and wonderful, but if you're live, you know, you might want two of them. And that's exactly what the Twin Sister is. I think it's a great concept. It's not game changing in any way, but it just sounds good. And that's ultimately what it's about, isn't it? Yeah. What's your answer then?
I mean, it depends on application. Like I said, if I want a rock tone, I'll probably go for a Marshall.
Can you narrow it down to one amp that does all applications? Like, can you answer the question?
Nope.
Because I don't think I can.
No, I couldn't answer it, because every amp is so unique in its own way, and I've never met an amp that could do it all. I mean, the Desert Island amp would probably be a Kemper then, because it's pretty close in all those genres. And you can tweak it to, you know, to death basically. So you probably haven't even checked all the options until you die. But if you want to, you know, have that real ballsy sound that is shaking your private parts, then I'll probably go for JCM 800 with a 4x12. Yep. I
had a JCM 800 with a 4x12, and I never got it past about one. So I thought thought I had that, and I was playing 1,000 people gigs. It was venues for over 1,000 people. It's 1,500, and I still could not turn it above about 1. I'm going to try and answer the question, and the one amp that comes instantly to my mind is the Fender Deluxe Reverb.
Interesting choice.
Because I could put many of my pedals with it. It sounds great with fuzz. I can make it sound kind of rocky. However, here's the catcher. It depends on which speaker cab you put it through. So it's not just the amp. Yep. So to make it geeky and complicated, it also you need to check the amp. So I'm lucky enough to have a few different cabs in the room. I've got a Harley Benton 212 with vintage 30s in it, and it sounds great rock through that. I've also got the orange PPC 212V just over there, and it gets some really nice, warm, clean, creamy tones off that. And then over there is a Marshall with some greenbacks in it, and a Laboga with some V30s in it. So I'm going to complicate it by saying probably Fender Deluxe Reverb, with the caveat that I have more than one cab to put it through.
Yeah, agreed. Actually, I think that the cab, and especially the speaker, is probably the most underrated part of your signal chain, because that is so important for the tone, and it can be so decisive when it comes to a good tone or a great tone. Yeah, but it's a problem. It's not easy to A/B it. That's the point.
The Synergy, of course, the Synergy series of amps where you have one power amp, one master head, and then you put these little modules in it. That's an interesting choice, but I'd argue that that's not an amp if you add many modules to it. It's not the same, but it's very similar to owning a collection of amps. So I don't think it answers the question, but ultimately that is a good choice, Pooh. That's a great choice. And then on the lower end, let's go budget. Let's budget wise. You know what my answer is going to be. My answer is going to be
Katana.
A Katana, but not that one.
Yep.
I would go for the 100 every time.
Yep.
Budget, you can't beat the Katana 100. Although I have some other amps in that price range and that sort of style coming from Vox and Fender. They're coming up soon on the channel, and that's going to be an interesting comparison. See if I can get off my Katana hit. What about you?
Same, Katana. I love the head with the little speaker in it. It's just genius, and the tone is so brutal. I really love it. It's still got a good separation, and it's very three-dimensional. So I'll if I was on a budget for an amp, I'll definitely go for the Katana. Yeah.
The only thing I can't get it to do well is Fender cleans.
Yep.
It doesn't give me that Fender sparkle. If it did that, then it would ruin everything else.
Yeah. But that's a point with many amps. They have a great crisp tone and a great overdrive tone. But if you really need that sparkling cleans and some headroom, because I think that headroom is so important if you want to cultivate a very three-dimensional, very dynamic tone. You need to have some headroom, and very few amps can do that well. Yeah.
I think that is the end of amp. I think Pooh's just won the amp.
Yeah.
He's suggested the Gorilla G10 with the reverb.
Yep.
Why not? Do we have any more from the chat? Because I can see that it's getting super late here, and we all know that we could sit around all night chatting guitars and chatting about nice things, but all good things must come to an end, my friend.
And we can see each other next week, same time.
We're going to be back next week. Same channel? Yeah.
Is that a Princeton
Reverb, that's good. Yeah, let's see if there's anything more from the chat. I just want to say that I'd like to ask in the chat if this was a worthwhile spending of our time. I'm getting the feeling that we've enjoyed this, but we were doing only audio, and we were doing pre-records, and we were having guests. We will still have guests in the future. We might do those as pre-records just to make it easier for everybody. But we will be going live and then play a pre-record. At least that's the plan. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a worthwhile spending of everybody's time, and hopefully you had fun and enjoyed yourself. Not fishing for compliments, genuinely looking for feedback and compliments. And hopefully we can do this again and have lots of guitar geeky fun and get some guitar stories from you guys. Do you know what I'd love to do, Dan? I'd love to have a section of the podcast or webcast where someone from the chat comes on and tells us their guitar story. Because that's why we started the podcast.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't
it be great
to have artists talk about their guitar stories? But I like everyone's guitar story. So that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
It's the one thing that unites us all is the love of guitars, and it doesn't matter which level you're at, or if you do it professionally, or if you do it once at lunchtime. Everyone's going to have their guitar story, and. Yeah, so if you want to catch us, you can catch us at Guitar Stories Podcast on Instagram. You can also catch me at TheGuitarGeek on Instagram. Dan, what's your catchy Ibanez themed numbers Instagram?
My Instagram tag is as fancy as the Ibanez SKU numbers. It's Dan140683. Or if you just search for Dr. Dan, you will find me, Dr. Dan at Ibanez. That will do. I'm posting a cool Ibanez picture every day. I try to add some stories to that too, because I'm deep into the whole Ibanez story, and I love it, and it's super exciting. So if you want to subscribe or just check it out, I'll be happy to get a few more guys on the account. Also, if you have any ideas of who we should welcome on the live show, like any artists or maybe even models that you want to discuss or topics, would be happy to pick that up and talk something like that. Yeah, and maybe for next week we'll announce like a main topic, like a headlining topic. There'll be like the main part, so we have something for you guys also to prepare. Maybe participate a little bit more. So that'll be super cool. And join us.
Great, I've had a great time, and we're going to constantly be improving, right, Dan? Onwards and upwards.
Absolutely, and we need those nice in-show segments.
They'll be coming. They'll be coming. So, but this worked rather well, I thought.
Yeah.
I just want to say to Toby, sorry, Dan, to talk over you. He wants to discuss some USA options for me, and potentially, I don't know what that means, but hit me up on Instagram, and I will certainly chat with you regarding that. Guitar Geek, that's me on Instagram. Sorry, Dan, I spoke over you.
No worries. I just wanted not to leave without saying you congratulations on 30,000 subs on YouTube. Great achievement. Very good. Very proud of you.
I love each and every one of you.
Yeah.
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true, because that would be sickening. It's not. It's not true. It'd be sickening. If it was sick, that's a disgusting thing to say. What I mean is, I appreciate everybody that leaves a comment, everybody that watches, and everybody joins in this wonderful little collection we have. And tonight has proven to me that there are some really nice people that watch my videos and hang out with us together. And yeah, I love what I do, and I work really, really hard, but it's rewarding. So thank you for being a part of it. I'd like to thank my mum, my dad, my producer,
my agent. Yeah, no, it's super cool to have that community, and I think this season 2, first episode of season 2 of the Guitar Stories podcast has proven that there are so many nice people floating around in your Facebook group and on your YouTube channel. It's a privilege to be part of that, so thanks for having me, and hope to see a lot of you guys next week. Shall I play us out with our main riff?
Oh, I would be happy to do that. I'm running out of words. Here we go. Dan's going to stand up.
And go. Good night, folks.
Bye.